Ну что ж, поехали. Меня зовут Кирилл Дороnin. В свое время заинтересовался инвестированием. В какой-то момент мы придумали с партнерами лозунг, то есть занимайся чем хочешь, а деньги должны быть. Что это такое? Это вот, и мы решили, что это будет Finiko. Название абсолютно ничего не означает. Что называется, взденкнуло. Finiko.ru. На сегодняшний день Finiko.ru это одна из таких площадок, которая позволяет любому пользователю получать финансовые результаты и финансовые продукты. Какие? Расскажу об этом позже, хотя наверняка многие из вас как минимум слышали об этом. У меня 2 сына, и мне очень важно, чтобы у меня было какое-то наследие. И выработал для себя какой-то момент, вот прям осознанно взял и вот выработал для себя такие правила, по которым я буду двигаться, и эти правила постараюсь передать. На мой взгляд,
and to teach my children. I am not the source of absolute truth, and all presenters will not insist on that. We just have viewpoint, and this viewpoint is supported by some people, and these people get some financial results. We get our financial results, and we'll share with you how to do it. We're ready to listen to your questions. We're ready to explain our viewpoint. We will insist on our viewpoint and support it. And again, these will give you the answer to the question what we leave for us, for our children. For me, it wasn't easy to understand where is the money. Where is the money? We go through our life exchanging different resources. We can have different resources, overvalued, undervalued, but resources are, so the equivalent of the resources is money. We develop rules in which the money will, with a high level of probability, will appear. And now we think it is very important. Now, if some time ago a lot of people were concerned about guarantees, about collaterals, nowadays when we just, life is so busy and dynamic, values are changing, we understand there is no guarantees to anything. And this is our first rule, no guarantees. And there is no guarantees. Whatever you do, you can do it with great pleasure. And if there is no guarantees, you can do whatever you want, recognizing that you can fail. It is a very, very nice state of mind when you know at any moment you can fail. It's quite opposite to our traditional model. And when something went wrong, went awry, we can try something else, then something else. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. So ready to fail, it helps us to be more concentrated, to be more careful. We don't have fear to fail. It's my favorite example with a motorcycle rider. If you're afraid of trees, you definitely will end up hitting one tree. And because if you are afraid of fail, you will fail, because you concentrate on it. So your internal ego, your internal resources allow you to be ready to fail. You use your resources to concentrate on final result. Second, uncertainty is a norm. So this environment which we are in, it is uncertain. We recognize that environment is uncertain. So we see something, so we have 5 of us, and we have 5 brains of 5 people. We have 20 people, so the limit is 20 brains of 20 people. The practice is showing that we have to have a lot of different competences, and if you have more than 10 people, you start repeating the experiences. You really didn't grow, you really don't expand. And if we understand it, so whatever we plan in future, there is a limit what we see from here and to eternity. And from this environment, you can make friends if you understand its uncertainty. And what we do, we are ready for any development, for anything. No guarantees, you know, and it will force us to turn, to make a U-turn 180 degrees and move in different direction. Your readiness to fail, your readiness prepares you to move in any direction. So this is one of the strong sides of the 21st century company. And third is, so you have to be aware of the Where are you going? What's going on around you? So it's an old adage. I mean, just follow with the wind. Follow the wind. Follow the trends. You can always choose the way how to do it. You can have a rowing boat and go against it, or you can use the wind and follow this wind. And in our case, follow the wind and make money. All these three things, I call them companies that's like kangaroo company. So if you imagine company, most of all I'm afraid of to become an elephant company, huge big monster which is walking along, not noticing anything around it. But if this elephant trips, it just falls and never stand up. Company for me is a group of kangaroos, small, very agile creatures which can move. The herd of kangaroo, okay, if you lose 1/3 of these animals, of these kangaroos, like small businesses, you know, so still the group will be moving on. The company should be big, but consisting of a number of kangaroos. I'm using this metaphor trying to help you to understand how we try to develop. We try not to be centralized, overly centralized. We try to decentralize businesses inside the company, which as this group of jumping kangaroos have to reach the final goal. And so these are principles are the foundation of the Finiko project. Finiko, well, we combine our natural laziness with the desire to invent some instruments for making money. First investment mechanism is the CTI index, which has 18 instruments. And these instruments are traded on different sites. And my colleague will tell you much more about it. My colleague will have some examples with the traders, how they make 4 to 5% profit a day on the 4 sites, on the Forex, Mosbirja, BitMEX, and Chicago Stock Exchange. So these instruments are built on principles of the theory of probability. So mathematical model is, you can imagine that we have 17 or 18 instruments, and each of them must make from 3 to 5% a day. I will not just asking you believe it or not believe. You can find it all in internet. When I explain it about bitcoins, we increased the number of instruments from 2 to 3. Now we have 18 instruments, and each of these instruments makes 3 to 5% a day. And if you follow this logic, that even if half of these instruments fail, so the other half, 1 to 2%, will still give you some growth. And we have to increase the number of partners. When you already get partners which understand marketing plans, which understand the systems of scaling, and they know how to scale. So we have a marketing plan how to sell this index, which helps you to make, for example, $1,000, and to make money on people who want to invest this money, $1,000. So when you invest it, people get from 0.8 to 0.5% a day. How it works? Capital, 30% of what you make today, we give to investor, 30% we give to traders, and 30% company leaves to itself. So it's evenly distributed profit, which takes into account interests of all parties. When this index, investment index, is introduced, if you have any questions, please, we have mics here. If you have any questions, don't wait until the question-answer session. You can get to the microphone, and I will understand that you have question. You better ask this question on time, otherwise you'll lose logic and forget about it. The silliest question is in this life is not asked question. If you move to microphone, I understand that you want to ask question, and I will accept this question. So this investment index was created for those of you who understand what is investment, how you'll spend the money. So we move on a little bit further. We ask the question ourselves, when you invest, well, you have a certain purpose to invest. So you have a purpose, I don't know. I mean, any financial task, any financial motivation is based on their desire to improve their living conditions. For example, to pay back credit, to buy a car, to buy some other values. I mean, to pay for the expensive education. Investment is always for something with a purpose. It's people are chasing money, sometimes not understanding why. Ability to make money and use money for certain purpose, it is it's success. Very often people think that to make money is important. No, it's important how to know how to spend money. If you cannot make money, you cannot spend it. You cannot continuously make money. You have to spend money. It's like energy. Do you have a question? 30% and 10%. You didn't say about 10%. You asked a question about 10%. 10% goes to reserve. We didn't hide this 10%. These are 10% which we use for reinvestment. And it's just in case fund. In the beginning, I told you we will live with an uncertainty where we're ready for any development of events. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know how much it will cost, whatever happens. And it's necessary to get some extra money to cover some expenses which you don't know yet. It's the money of all of us to compensate and protect us. So we continue logic. So investment always has a purpose. So any investment has a purpose. And very opposite, these purposes are material purposes. And we call it just this project, the cover your financial needs. And if you look at different angle at it, you turn it into a conversation about your purposes, about your goals. Because for many people, the understanding of goal, well, we have it, but let's be honest, whatever we plan, whatever goals we have, the ability to set a goal and achieve it, it's quite a complicated skill. Anybody can, do you remember that some people, or for yourself, you just wanted to start running in the morning, to lose weight, you had purpose to stop eating sweet things before you go to bed, but the people continue doing this thing. They say, okay, today is the last day, but tomorrow I will start new life. Any purpose is not easy to achieve. Why? It's a skill. If you until now have been living with the habits to spend money, and tomorrow you decided to be investor, it's difficult to do it. It's difficult to save money. It's difficult to invest, save again. It's quite difficult. Usually people, whatever goals they have, you act according to your front cortex. That's what you plan. But you act according to your habits. Change habits. It's a tremendous work, and not many people are ready to do it. So that's why when you understand you have financial goal, investment for many people will become just a generating money and spending them on its everyday routine needs. Sometimes I read charts and I understand people, when they start making money, they stop spending. So why did you spend? So they spent $400, $600 a month. Investment should bring me more money. So now we have goal, for example. You can pay back your credit for 35%, for example. So we move on from make money, bring money to the, take money to the bank, pay back for the credit. So this is that's what we do. The next product is, for example, buy a car for 35%. So we'll talk about it when we explain to you how to make money. Buy a flat for 35%, get cash back 25%. So we came to products which respond to your needs and answer question why to invest. In marketing, you need advertisement, and what for? What is the perfect advertisement? Advertisement gives you new clients. Well, the perfect advertisement, if you don't have advertisement, but you still have clients.
What are the results of the investment? If there are no investment, but there are the results. You're not investing them, but you are buying cars, you are traveling into the countries where you want to be, but there you are. That's the ideal investment? Well, we are looking at various products that help you to get there. Let me represent product number one. Let's assume you have 1,000,000 rubles, which, let's say, is being paid on the every 25th day of the month by 35,000 rubles over the course of 3 years. Let's assume we agree that way. The company offers the following proposal on this product. You are putting down 350,000 rubles as an agreement, and then you forget about this 1,000,000. And what happens is that on the every 23rd, 24th of the month, you have 105,000 rubles on your account. That account consists of the current payment, say 35,000 rubles, and 70 or whatever thousand rubles is the sum that covers the body of the, say, loan. Your job is to press the button, and you are decreasing the body of the loan by 70,000. And over the course of, say, 9 to 10 months, your loan is covered. And that is it. That's the main complication of the presentation. You have to present this within a minute or 2 minutes. That way we are covering the loan, any kind of loan, any kind of debt that you have over the 9 to 10 months. If no matter what is the situation, the product seems to be clear, over 600 or 700 people are using that product. The happiest users of the product are those who have a mortgage. These are the most sizable value. Obviously, consumer loans are less sizable, but they are still benefiting. We decided to take a look at what other things people want to resolve using the investments approach. We started addressing the needs of those who want to buy a flat or a car. Thus, we offered respective products. A flat or a car at 35% of the price tag of whatever. Let's say that all of your life long you've been thinking that it's about time that you drive something better. You might be driving one car, but it's been a while since you want to be driving a different one. Let's say Mercedes, C-Class Mercedes. And we would be having a show. We would be actually handing keys and the certificate for such a car to one of the members of the company. Let's say 3,000,000 rubles. What's the offer our company makes? You identify what you want to have. You are investing 1,005,000 rubles on the first day. Of the agreement, and on the 95th day, the company is paying for you the purchase of a vehicle which costs 3,000,000. And the vehicle is yours directly into your ownership, as well as without any kind of financial lien. 35% of the debt within 95 days, the vehicle is yours without any kind of transfer of the deed. It's just a queue. An individual work with an individual. That's not queuing. That's working with you, and the mechanism is more or less as follows. Since 95 days is a period of time that is necessary to earn the money for the vehicle, we are offering to make certain deal per the 80th day. Let's say you have an understanding of how much is the car of your dreams. You are signing a contract for, say, 1,050,000, and let's say on the 80th day, 15 days before, you start going around car dealerships, start sitting into the vehicles, choosing the color, the interiors, start understanding what is the feeling. Then you're signing the contract of the sale, and you're saying that the transaction will take place in 2 weeks' time. That's when the purchase and sale agreement is closed, the money is transferred, and the vehicle is yours. Same thing is true for flats. You are then identifying the district where you would like to live. Let's say you know the homes there, or maybe your husband or wife is telling that it would be wonderful to move into that district, and you have 1 million or 2, or maybe you are unable to get a mortgage, or some complex conditions. You identify what you want, you identify the cost of the apartment, let's say 5 to 7 millions. You are investing 1.5 to 2 millions. We are calculating the ratio. On the 80th day, you're usually not having such round figures. It's usually 2,980, a respective purchase and sale contract is being made. You are agreeing on the date when the money will be transferred to you yourself. You know that the day X will be day 95. So around the 80th of the day, you are agreeing about the transaction date. The company is paying, and the company is without any liens, and you own it. That's one of the products. Should you have questions, you feel free to ask, even though I feel that many of those questions were asked many times. Now, what's actually happening? My question is about the credit loan and the monthly payments. Where does that money go on the account of the agreement, right? Let us explain this to a wider audience. When you are making a loan agreement, you are making 2 contracts. One, the loan account, you can only transfer your money on your personal account, and then you are signing an agreement that the bank is transferring that money. Thus, the money goes on your personal account from where the bank will be doing the transaction. That's correct. And is it organized on behalf of the company or individual? When we are in such a contract, when you are transferring me 350,000 rubles, we are signing the loan agreement where I have responsibility to return this money. Any kind of payments for this, is it with a private individual with you? Yes. With me or with my aides, Mr. Zildovich or Sabirov. as a private individual, I'm returning that money, but that scheme will only be there for another month because it will be cooler. If I consider it the way it is, it's the scheme used by Sundukov of the Drevprom. I've heard about it. I would have to state straight that we are being compared with very, very many names. Unless people would have simplified the vision, then the relationships with the client would have been much better. I guess it's just something that needs to be explained. I agree, but the next step we are making is simplification even further. Okay, you are calling me to make a step forward and present something I intended to share in the following block. That money would not be sent to you, it would be sent to the respective electronic account and showing to you that you are doing that. Then obviously we are simplifying many things in line with Federal Law 215 of the Russian Federation, as well as other complications. I agree with that. Are there any other questions? Yes, I do. I would like to hear what is the minimum figure for the price tag of a vehicle or an apartment. The vehicle, 100,000, let's start, but apartment, 300,000, but that would probably be a room in an apartment. I understand your question on one side. On the other hand, it's important that you hear in this company not only about figures, but about things that you allow yourself in this life, because all the norms and standards in your life, why are they the way they are? Why are they minimal or average or somewhat higher? I would prefer to see people not to limit themselves, but to aspire to something a little higher than they are used to. Why an apartment with 3 million rubles price tag or 5 million ruble price tag? Quite often, life shows that everything depends on our ambitions to earn a little more, because you need to invest 600,000, you can make a few steps and then earn 1 million and higher. I decided to answer your question and go a little further. My recommendation is to look at things with a little higher ambitions. But obviously, when we are sharing this with others, we have to be able to explain to others. I understand that all those here, they're not only to understand, but to share. I obviously share, I understand. I am sharing here my own vision. My recommendation is to be looking at whatever ambitions, but the ambitions, whatever I accept. Hello, I also have a question. Hello, Kirill. And let's assume that the sum of the contract is lower. We were thinking about 3 million, and for whatever reason, it went back to 2,700,000. Agree? Right now, we are introducing the management tool, and let's say the 93rd, 94th, 95th day, the sum is different. And the difference is either returning to you if the sum is more than what you need, and if it is more or less 15%, you'll receive a proposal to keep your money for 15 to 20. Let's say that you discover that the apartment that you actually want ended up being 3,100,000, and then we are working for extra 100,000, and then the full sum will be transferred, keeping in mind the amount of money that was necessary higher. But what if the agreement was for 3 million? I actually meant differently, but I needed less, 2,700,000. Then we are transferring 2,700,000 to the seller and 300,000 to you. Well, and how? Well, I'm sure we would agree we can either transfer it to your card or to the Bitcoin, etc. It just quite soon we will have a standardized solution in Cifrons, because actually your questions are, is compression of the skill like it is in any of the mastery. We first offered the service, but then we understood that this could be standardized down to the program code of Cifron for exchange of, say, Bitcoins or rubles. Hello, my question is, if a person is finding an apartment for 1,500,000, but the seller, let's say that the price tag for the apartment is 1,500,000, and the agreement with the seller is for 1,800,000. I wonder if the previous case was in case when the price tag ended up being lower, and what if the price tag ended up being higher, a few 100,000. Honestly, I don't exactly understand the question. Zygmunt rephrased quite well. An apartment is worth 1,500,000, but I want a contract 1,800,000. I want a 1,500,000, but I understand it's not critical to increase. But in Russian registry, will register only 1,500,000. He is, though, confirming the contract, but officially it seems that it is it's lying to us in our agreement. Well, we decided not to complicate the issues. Let's call there's an investment, the car or whatever. You have a tool. If everything is going to the card, you are deciding on all of that yourself. We would like to organize a service which will be running autonomously, just using our mechanics of money generation. What you are asking about is about the technology that will be used until the end of February, whilst at the end of February, even a little earlier, we will move to a new approach. It will happen on Tuesday, even. Yes, hello? A number of questions. It's the first time I'm at such an event. Many of those present here are asking about products. I would like to start with where it came from. First of all, I'd like to thank you for answering right away that there are no guarantees, but lots of uncertainty. It gives the understanding if something goes wrong, we warned you. You won't trust you. I will tell you that we didn't warn ourselves. And if it will be implemented the way it's being described about loans and apartments, Ms. Nabulina and the government will thank you because you will simplify the loan offering solutions for the population. First thing that I would like to, I guess, mark for myself, do you have a license? Is it for brokerage? Is that for dealership? Is that for a license for the banking activity? Because I would like to see that, because obviously I would like to use sums at a larger scale, not 1,000, not even 10,000 US dollars, and opening accounts where the money will be transferred. Is that under Russian legislation? Or are we talking about offshore accounts, Belize, Cyprus, etc.? Offshores are okay. It's just that obviously that would require greater reporting. Maybe go one by one about license. The type of activities that we are doing doesn't require any licenses. What is we don't even have a public limited company. And how do you see that? Well, it looks as follows. You are a user of automated system which is located in in EU with a cryptocurrency used in Estonian company that has permits to be selling cryptocurrency and real exchange. That's the first step. Then that contract is being transferred into Bitcoin, which in the framework I'm generating additional Bitcoins. That agreement is then transferred back into US dollars, and then you are getting back your money either as products or investment results.
Do I have to open an account? No, just a sec. Opening account, it's like any other broker's company which say your money will not be touched. You have them on your account. You just give your money to trade. But for us, it's most risky way of investment, because you give money for one or two instruments, whereas we have 50% risk. So that is why we have this index, it's our name of the product, which has simultaneously is traded on 17 different areas by the people who can do it. So that is why, would you please save your questions for people who will give you better answers. I am entrepreneur. I operate with money before and money after. You have more money after, that means you made money. And my colleagues after me will be giving you more detailed information, how certain things are not possible in brokerage in order not to risk excessively with the client's money. So that is why our approach is safe. This money of clients' money cannot be arrested, can be blocked, and this is how we develop international part of our business. Do you work with bitcoins? Because you talked about Moscow exchange. We fix your transaction in Bitcoin, and then we do what we think is right, not to lose it. Last question, anyway, you as a person responsible for the business, so you should know how money is made in the company. We talk about trading on the Moscow exchange, Chicago exchange. IC IP broker. It's most known brokers in Chicago exchange, Ninja brokerage, Chicago exchange, and Открытие, it's on Moscow bridge. The accounts are opened for the physical, for the individuals, for members of my team. But you better ask these questions again to my specialists. They will give you better answer. My question is, can companies participate in the companies? They cannot be here because I don't know what will happen with your Aquad if you cannot send me money as transfer money as a legal entity, as a company. But we are preparing these documents in order to increase your profitability and decrease your cost. How it works? You organize some fund within your legal entity, which pays for your fixed costs. And we want to build a mechanism which accumulates capital and finances your fixed costs. But now we don't have these products. We are working on it. But according to the civil code, if legal company can credit to an individual, yes, you're right. But if you make more than 3 transactions, your bank will come to you and your money will be arrested. Yes, you're talking about this civil code, but at the same time, we live. My second question is, I don't want to create additional risks with the central bank. My question was about the commercial real estate. Can it be involved if we have agreement as two individuals, yes. As two individuals, yes, yeah, it can be done. It can commercial real estate can be. If you like snowmobiles, and if you like other expensive toys. Any question? I'm from Ufa. I talked to an entrepreneur who read every paragraph of the credit agreement, and they talk about 35% and 8% above, because we cannot take money from minimum is. So the question is, if from individual you get big money to cover the credit for the car, and if a year after a person come and demand the car back? So credit agreement, what about some extra, not just 350,000, you paid more. Sorry, I don't understand you. So can you ask a question, money back? You get some 700 extra money, more than in credit agreement. You will. Are we talking about the representative of the company on behalf of which money is given to you to buy a car? No, it cannot have. Where is the guarantee? No guarantee. If you want to, I don't need this 300,000. If you think that we need. I built my model. If we know that there will be some people, some crazy people with strange behavior, because every spring and every autumn we have peak of their activity, and I have to be insured that against these people. And I have my financial instruments in my credit agreement, and we develop our company, and we have some mechanism which save us. And if your client doesn't like this agreement, well, it's your right. If you don't want to sign this agreement, don't sign it. Organize your company, and we'll see what happens when you have your 1,000 clients. I would like to move on. Good afternoon, Kirill. I'm Stepan Kuznetsov. I'm from Yelabuga. I'm part of Finiko project. Well, thank you very much for organizing this company. And my question is, I'm, as many other partners, came here to make money, to help other people, and I'm a bit of lack of confidence. I understand that if you want to build something, you need a team, and I'm not really certain. What do you mean, uncertainty? To be certain, to be confident, what do you need? Okay, let me ask you a question. Do you like this condition? Is it something familiar, feeling, or it just doesn't depend on whom you work with? It is called decision, which you have to make a decision. There are decisions which you make decision and you just stop on this, and you make decision and you follow. The question is what you lose when you fail. You get experience. What is experience? Reputation. What is reputation? That I have doubtful reputation. Maybe you can find any information about me. or you live your own life. It doesn't make any difference. Do you really live your life in order to meet somebody's expectations? Of course, for us it's important, reputation, but you always has a chance to come to a person who you think you let down. You say, I made mistake. You give information, and people then make decisions. If you suddenly I live my own life. Everybody lives their own lives. It's your own decision where to go and what to do. When you are afraid to hit the tree when you drive, you definitely will hit the tree. But if you're looking for other ways, you will always find a way to go. Confidentiality, it's something comes from the inside. So we go further, yeah, because the question, we have to move on. Oh, more questions. Kirill, good afternoon. A short question. Your company promises 35% every month. Why don't you get credit and paid back? Okay, I answered a million times on this question. Okay, okay. When you get credit in bank, how many clients you can buy? Depends on the business. Not one, because you just got money and you cannot do it yourself. And for example, somewhere around you, there are people thinking what we'll do in the next 10, 20 years. Whatever projects I'll do, you need people to promote them. You need team which can criticize, which can finance you. You cannot use credit money. You just, how much you're ready to spend a year? $1 million, $2 million. So you buy a house, 2 houses. I'm 40 next week, and I'm not interested in just making money. I'm interested in making money, and any credit. Now, if I get 1 billion rubles, I don't know what to do with it, how to invest it. In mathematically, it just doesn't work. And for 1 ruble, I will get you as a manager, because if you buy a car or buy flat or start using cashback card, you inevitably will give me 5 more people. Not any bank can give me, and then 5 of these people. So this is the environment of the uncertainty with possibilities. I will never get it for credit. So that is why this is the mechanism, how it works. A trader who